one for the days. Come on for the body, no they breathe. Put on your shoe, make it stand that this. All your sorrow, make it dance them free. If you know be kalala, yeah. If you know be kalala, get it never. One my joke, ijogo, what you want my joke, ijogo, money my joke, and if you know be kalala, get it never. Odupa, Olua, yeah. Joy is coming. Dupa, Olua, yeah. Joy is coming.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Africans in Diaspora on Premier FM 93.5. My name is Stephen Agbaje. Glad for you to be part of this show. It's a full house, and of course, we are traveling this afternoon. We've been doing United Kingdom. We've been in the European countries, always feeling cold, But today we're going to the sunny side, stateside. I've got Mama Nell on the show today. It's been a long time, Nell.
Yes, it has been.
How have you been?
Fine, thank you. I stood in for you last week, though.
Oh, and I thought you went to England to see the Queen, and she gave you a cake. You brought it back.
Yes, I did.
Thank you. All right, then. Welcome to Africans in Diaspora. It's our show every Thursday. That's where we get to meet sons and daughters that are outside the shores that are making waves and making the African continent proud. And today, let's go visit Donald Trump. Yeah. We'll go to the United States. And to be specific, we're traveling all the way to Texas. Yeah, that's the city of cowboys now. Yeah, they're always in their hats and boots and jeans and the likes. So all the way from Texas, the United States of America, we have a notable son of the soil. And I wouldn't say much, but let me tell you that this guest on this show is an entrepreneur, an entertainment mogul, and he's into production and promotion of music business. Yes, music business. You'll get to find out what makes music business the in thing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, daddies and mamas, welcome with me, Prince Samuel Archibong. Prince, it's a pleasure to have you on the program this afternoon.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on this platform.
All right, we're in the afternoon here. I'm sure you are in the morning or midnight.
Yeah, I'm in the morning.
Thank God for Nigel. You know what I'm saying?
Not so.
All right, now let's break it down.
Not so.
Prince Samuel, the Prince. Is it a title or is it something you just picked?
It's a title. I was inherited. My grandfather and in my deep lineage, we've had 10 Abongs of the Calabar. Prior to this current Abong of Calabar, my relative was also the Abong of Calabar, and so it's a forever title down my lineage. In my generations to come, there'll be princes and princes.
Okay.
Maybe kings too. I mean, we could be kings as well.
God willing, and God will. You know, from the part of this country where I come from, there is this lineage that a prince does not stay outside. But this is a prince all the way in the United States. So how did that journey come to be?
That's a great question. Well, my grandfather, the former Abong of Calabar, the former Didem, king, if you will, he ventured out into studying law in the United Kingdom. Now, how did I get to the U.S.? My mom ventured out. Her siblings went to the United States to study architecture,
sure.
if that's a word. And then she followed, and then my father found my mom, and then they had me, and that's how I'm here residing in the United States.
Wow. So if I get you right now, have you stepped foot in Nigeria?
Certainly. When my parents had a big traditional wedding, it was all over the news, and the Queen was there, which is my mom's first cousin.
Wow.
So I'm related to the current Abong. His kids are my blood. His wife is my blood.
Wow.
So, and he's my big uncle. So
Okay.
I know it sounds like it could be a fairy tale, but it's actually very real, and people
Um,
can confirm this in the Effing Kingdom.
okay, that's great because when one listens to you, one would think you're just the, you know, chips and fish thing. But let's talk about something more serious. And I've got my co-presenter here, Nelly, and she's going to fire the first shot into what you actually do. So, Nelly.
Okay, good to have you with us on this edition, Prince Samuel Archibong. What's your opinion of the Nigerian music scene? You know, the different genres, Afro beats, especially, which is making waves now, and how it influences the global music industry.
I would like to say that the current well, let's start from the beginning of when I was a very small boy, like in the early 2000s. You know, we had Two Face,
Yeah.
even Timaya. We had
The
P
Tula.
Square, Olumanten. Those are the people that I grew up on.
Okay.
You know, and they, well, even prior to that, we had Fela Kuti.
Yes.
We had him that, you know, he started the whole Afrobeat. That was the actual Afrobeat genre. And then when we got individuals like Wizkid and Davido that furthered the genre and solidified it to a mainstream level, you know, and it took some time. They blew up in Nigeria first, of course, and in Africa, and then they expounded into us here in Nigeria, the Nigerians here, the diaspora, and here in America, we knew of Wizkid. Certain, not all of us, but those that, you know. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you're with us.
Clearly.
Okay. So yeah, they established that connection with us, and we were listening to them. And to answer your question on the scene now they have Grammy nominations. There's so many artists that are being nominated for awards and being recognized. So I think that we're in a great space. The genres have expounded to different subgenres, and it's a beautiful thing. They're both men and women winning, you know, as on a global mainstream standpoint. So that is my take on it.
All right, then. All right. Well, as an entrepreneur in the music industry, what's been your experience producing and promoting music, especially in the US and maybe Africa?
I'm just now getting acquainted with the African scene.
Okay.
From the U.S. I'll talk about that more in depth, but I'll answer the question on how it is for me here in the United States. I am an independent entrepreneur, and I have an independent label called Modern Oddity Records / Motto. And basically what it all boils down to is, you know, in a universal language is, you know, funding and money. And but the creative side, we've locked it down, and the money side as well. You know, I can move freely, and what I aspired to do in the past is to have creative freedom to do whatever I want and get acquainted with whoever I want. And so I've done like very big milestones, from being invited to Grammy weekend in 2020 to perform on the red carpet and go to radio stations in Los Angeles. In 2020, that same year, prior to that invitation, I opened up for notable artists with the artist named YFN Lucci, and so I've done a lot of. I mean, I don't want to go off and say all the accomplishments but if one goes on Google and reads about me, they will see these things, and they will tell you a brief description about my labor and my entrepreneurship, and how I am an entrepreneur and how I'm flourishing. Now, to go back to, you know, the Nigerian scene, I'm coming to Africa, actually, Nigeria specifically, in my hometown, Calabar, to shoot a movie, my very first feature film. And that is a subdivision of my music label. That is, like my film company. So it's like I all tied down to MODDO, which is Motto. And Modern Oddity is basically what started, like, here in America. I've always been, so I'm a prince, I'm all these things, I have all these titles, I'm a CEO and all these things, and I don't fit in any I don't really fit in. You can't categorize me in any department. So what I did was I cultivated.
Yeah, like what we call the jack of all trade in the music world.
Yes, for sure. But I feel like now, since I've been like 10 years in it, I've mastered a lot of the trades.
Wow.
So
that's
yeah.
great.
So what I'm doing now is I'm putting a lot of focus into making this movie. I even have I don't want to say too much. I have A-list actors that are potentially going to come on board to act this movie here in the United States from Nigeria. Wow. So you see the connection that we're molding. I don't want to say their names yet because let's stop there because we still want to explore some other areas before we come back to this project and collaborations that you have in the pipeline. I think Nelly will have to fire this next question to you.
Okay, as a person who lives in Texas, how are you able to balance your Nigerian heritage with your life in the US?
That's a great question. There's a plethora of people that reside here in the Texas state. There are, all different sorts of Nigerians, from Africans to Ethiopians to I don't know if it's much Somalians here, but as far as like Nigerians, there's Yorubas. The only people that are not as recognized is where I come from, the Effiks. There's even more Ibibios than Effiks. Now, how we find the balance is we have our communities, our sub-communities, and general concise of communities that we all sanction out to and network, and then also we collaborate with people here in the United States. So those of us that were born here in the States, we get a mixture and know how to maneuver, because we were born here in the States, so we know the ways of the Americans. But our parents teach, they say charity begins at home. So we also take the initiatives that we learn from our parents and from our, I know you said we'll go, this kind of like how I made this project, The Village Raised Me, the movie, because it takes a village to raise a child as well. So you have all these components that help one maneuver, that's able to maneuver here in the States.
Yeah, okay. Now, Prince, as you've been talking, one will have the feeling that it's been all jolly good. There has been no challenges, but I know there is no journey that will never have a challenge. Now, how have you been able to navigate, and what opportunities can open for Nigerians in the diaspora in the entertainment industry?
That's a marvelous question. Of course, no journey, there was ups and downs, but because of the state that I'm in now, I have a magnitude and plethora of just a lot of good things happening for me. So even if it were bad things happening, you guys wouldn't even hear about the bad. But I'll say it's been so long that I've experienced so much bad or downs that I could remember and just detailedly tell you where things went wrong. Okay. I think like in the past I had my people took my kindness for weakness, and I was too gullible in some things. But I started early in this entertainment industry at the age of, if you want to be concise, at the age of 3. Okay. But I started off further down the line after like school or during school, secondary school, at the age of 15. I got offered my first label deal at the age of 17. Yeah. And being that, I also come from poverty. I am a prince, but since my parents came from a whole different side of the world and came to America, they had to basically start afresh, and nobody, really respected the title of, my mom being a princess and all these things, because obviously we're not there in Nigeria, we're here in the United States. So you have to fend for yourself and things of that nature.
Okay.
Did I answer the question, or you can
Exactly,
ask it over?
exactly. The cultural difference, definitely. Here, you worshipped like royalty and the likes, but over there, every man for himself. Well, Prince, thank you very much
Exactly.
for being with us. We'll take a quick breather. We'll be right back. Stay with us because we still got some questions for you on Africans in Diaspora on Prem FM 93.5. Stay with us.
Beautiful.
One people, one world, one world, one people, yeah. Let's settle the differences. It's best to live in peace. Exchange cultural experiences. That's the way it should be. One people, one people, one world, one world, one world, one people. All nations are guilty at one point of hostilities. Now's the time to work for peace. It's our responsibility. One people, one people, one world, one world, one world, one people, yeah.
It's still Africans in Diaspora on Premier FM 93.5, and we've been speaking with an entrepreneur and entertainment mogul, Prince Samuel Archibong in Texas. What advice would you give to Nigerians in the diaspora looking to invest in the music industry in Nigeria or other African countries, or even the US?
My advice would be to do your due diligence in researching and knowing what you're getting yourself into. When you do that research and you're comfortable and confident in what you're investing into, then you hold on to that and believe into that vision 100%, even over 100%. Because when you do that and you believe into that, then there's no other way. I mean, the only thing will probably, it's a matter of time, but if you are confident and you've done your research and what you're investing into, then that product or that person will then, follow through and things of that nature.
Okay. Now, let me go a bit personal now. As a leader in the entertainment space, how do you think artists and entrepreneurs can contribute to climate action or social causes in Nigeria or globally? Because it's about time we need to really make ourselves visible in the global space. So how do you think we can contribute, especially people in the entertainment industry?
Can you ask that question one more time, please?
As a leader in the entertainment space with your experience, I'm thinking of ways that artists and entrepreneurs in the music industry can contribute to climate action or take social causes in Nigeria to really stamp and make our people visible more. You talked about Nigerians being nominated for Grammys and the likes. It's a good thing, but we want more of that. How can we use music as a tool to establish that and contribute to climate change?
So music is the most powerful tool in this world aside from love, and it evokes a lot of emotion. Another thing that is powerful, probably the most powerful, is the people. What I mean by that is the people are who made all these celebrities and artists and producers or whatever famous, celebrities and who they are, because, but also I want to equate it back to the musicians, they have to go back to their communities and get involved and know what's going on a day-to-day basis in their communities, internationally. So connecting from the Nigerians in Nigeria or the Africans, the South Africans, the Northern Americans here in the United States, and bridging that gap. So I am bridging that gap and doing my due diligence with working with artists back home and trying to put on for my community, and which is why I am making a movie, because a movie, music and visual imagery, as far as like movies and things like music videos and all that, they all evoke some sort of emotion, or at least the good artists do, and the good directors and stuff like myself do. So I have the best of both worlds to put music, soundtracks, and do film scoring, and putting that in my film from different artists that I decide to work with. And we put out an album that we're going to solemnly put for the people, and then the film is supposed to cater to the people. I'm all about the people. I'm all about what the people want, and also not just what the people want, but also what I want, and how I can bridge the gap to connect on a executed level to connect to the people. So that's my answer. You have to be involved in your community and just connect with the people.
All right. Well, Prince, talking about community, I don't know, Nelly would have a short, but I just wanted to give this as a rider. Community, the Nigerian community there, how supportive has it been?
Well, it just depends, right? So if one is I cultivate like hip hop, R&B, a little bit of Afro. My biggest music is Afro. So like what they're used to is Afro artists, right?
Okay.
But American hip hop also connects to a broader level. I'm more international and connect. I don't just confine myself into one genre. I cultivate what makes me feel good and what makes me resonate with the people. So answering your question, how they are, it just depends on diaspora. Some people might be not as talented, but they're able to connect to the people and resonate with the people. So it just depends on how well one can resonate to the listener and the consumer.
Yeah. All right then. Nelly.
What's one thing that you like to see change or improve for Nigerians in the diaspora in the entertainment space?
Let me just think on that real quick. I'd like to see change in more visibility to upcoming artists. I'd like to see more mainstream artists work with upcoming artists. I think Wizkid just now worked with Ashake now, but would he have worked with him when he was on the come up? It just depends on how good the music is, right? And how, like they have a thing called artist development now doesn't really exist in today's climate. It's more so of how popular one is before they. So I like that. I like for the people to go back, or the workers and the staff to go back to artist development, because some people are rushed and they're here today and they're gone tomorrow. So to avoid that, one has to be developed. It's just like work, when one comes out of school, you don't get the highest paid job. You have to start from the entry level to get to the seniority levels and things of that nature. So I think some artists are going from straight to seniority levels before going into artist development, which is also like an entry level and things of that nature. So I'd like to see that again.
All right then. Earlier you were talking about your movie that you're bringing home to shows, because I wanted to ask you what's next for you, what's in the pipeline, any exciting ventures, but you started talking about it. So around what time should we expect this movie?
We are currently in the pre-production stages, but you should expect the first half of the movie that we're putting out a short film for the first part of it, which is going to be phenomenal. Of course, I'm able to fund my film companies. It will be funding it. So from America to Naira. So you can expect ecstatic film work and acting and things of that nature. So I'll say, I don't want to put it. I just want to say the last quarter of the year.
Oh, why then? It's still 2026. That's a great one. All right, now let's relax a little. Let's see if you still have that African thing and Niger thing in you. What's your food?
Sure.
What's your food like? Have you blended with the
Uh,
U.S. food, or you still remember home?
Oh, I still remember home. I like to miss it a little bit so I can enjoy it more. But my mom always prepares, African cuisines from the rice and stew to jollof rice to fufu with egusi, fufu with afang soup, fufu
Wow.
with
In fact, you have passed.
meat
You have
pie,
passed. You have passed.
moimoi,
Mention no more. Mention
everything.
no more.
I'm just speaking in a like if I want to speak pidgin, I go speak now.
Correct. The Niger flavor never left you.
I never left my body. I never left
Correct
my
guy,
body.
man. Correct guy. All right, let's talk about
I'm
dressing
able
too,
to.
because this is another important thing. Have you gone the tie shirt and pants, or you still do the native attires?
Oh, I do. If you watch for the listeners out there, if you go to my platform,
Okay.
EFIKVOICE, Epic Voice, on Instagram and Facebook, you will see that I am always, showcasing my culture and heritage. In
Great
fact,
one.
we have like 33,000 followers, and I built that from September to now, and we've grossed over 10 million views. And
Wow.
prior to that, we didn't really have, the ethics were very shy and timid of showcasing their heritage, but I jumped out in the forefront to showcase it, and that's how we've accumulated all these views and engagement and things of that nature.
All right, man. All right, one. All right. Call this the parting shot from me. I'd like you to tell us one thing you did like to see change or improve for Nigerians in the diaspora as it pertains to the entertainment space. Just one thing. Is it more money or more recognition?
Confidence.
Say what?
More recognition, certainly.
Okay.
The confidence to be recognized more, to be on an international level.
Wow.
Because I think in the past, yes.
That's done. Nelly?
If we're looking for you on social media, Instagram, Facebook, how do we find you? What are your handles?
My handles is TheSammySossa. That is my music page, and then the Epic page for the heritage is EFIKVOICE, all together. And you will find both. You can find me on Facebook. You can find you can find the Epic platform. When you search it up, you will see it. You can't miss it.
No doubt about that. Well, it's been a wonderful time out with you, Prince Samuel Archibong. Very interesting few minutes, and we thank you for being part of this program. We wish you well in your endeavors, and we are proud of you that you're making the African continent, especially Niger, our own dear Niger, for the land, very, very, very visible to the world. Thank you for being part of this show, Prince.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a
All
pleasure.
right, then. All right, folks, this is where we draw the curtain on this edition of Africans in Diaspora. We've played host to Prince Samuel Archibong, all the way from the U.S., living in Texas, that is, and is a music entrepreneur. We thank you for listening, and we say let's tune in again next week for another edition of Africans in Diaspora. Big thanks to George Chukura, the man with the magic fingers, and of course Shegun Ogunjobi, the producer, and with extra support from J Baby, Jacinta Odubanjo. Stephen Agbaje is my name. Catch you next week. From Nelly,
Chinelo Obidike. Enjoy the rest of your day.